have Kwame Owino from the Institute for Economic Affairs tonight to speak to us. So here we are, damned if we do, damned if we don't. What next for us, Kwame?
Oh, well, I think it looks like we are just going to have to tough it out because, I mean, we've kicked the ball into the future twice already. So I think this time it's clear it's going to have to happen with all the consequences that you've mentioned, including others that perhaps we cannot foresee at this moment. But the clearer one is this is not an IMF question. I think our tax rises are basically Parliament approving a tax proposal by the executive. And so if Parliament has approved it, then it's clear it's going to go up. So really, the IMF should not be the shield for the Treasury and Parliament on one side. This is a tax that we're going to have to raise because we have to pay for a big government that we have. So the main point is we have expenditures that we have approved. We have to then approve revenues that will match those expenditures so we can pay our way.
You say this is something we might have to own because we can blame the IMF all we like, but this is a law we passed. Now, previously we have kicked this can down the road and said, well, 2013 we can implement it in 2016, we can do so in 2018. Is there a chance that we could do so again? Parliament will take a break at the end of this month. Is this something we should do, even considering the fact that all of this money will inject 70 billion shillings into KRA's coffers that we so desperately need to fund our deficit?
I don't think we should, because if we did, then our deficit is going to go even much worse than what it is already, and we're already concerned about our debt burden. So if we carry forward a deficit, it just means that we're going to deal with it. So I think at one point we're going to have to deal with this question. It didn't have to come here, in my view. One of the things that Parliament should have done 4 years ago when they first passed the VAT bill was actually to accept to have this, but reduce the rate of VAT from 16 to a lower level, but actually bring it all in at that point, because right now it's creating these problems that we think we can run away from, but we can't.
To what extent can we lobby at all, if possible, make sure that Parliament doesn't pass this? Is there any relief at all between now and the 1st of September?
Well, I think it's too late, because I think Parliament is going for a break at the end of next week. So if that was to happen, obviously it's possible motions could be brought in, but I think it's too late for all of that to make its way through Parliament in time for an amendment to this law to take place, or an amendment to this prescription to take place. So even Parliament going away is partly the acceptance that it's a fait accompli now.
Okay, as we wrap it up, the ramifications, I know we've talked about it here in our explainer tonight, the cost of transport. Maybe you could expound just a little bit on that, what Kenyans can expect in 2 weeks, should this indeed take place as we expect it to.
Okay, well, I think it starts with the fact that, you see, we are not a producer of petroleum yet, or at least not into our own markets right now. And so fuel prices tend to be a major driver of inflation in Kenya, one of the major drivers of inflation, together with food prices. So by raising fuel prices, obviously, there'll be pressure on all other prices to go up. So it would be important for us to actually keep a watch on inflation rates, because that might go up as well. But the other thing is, it's just going to squeeze everybody's income for the time being. So what happens is, yes, the tax rates have even risen. So in addition to the taxes that we pay, this is another tax that we're going to have to live with.
Indeed, going to have to live with. Thank you. Kwame Owino, who is the CEO at the Institute for Economic Affairs. It's a situation we will have to deal with.